The FemBioBiz Acceleration Program is back for Season 2, and the search is on for female innovators to stake their claim for $250,000 worth of prizes. In this episode, we're in Namibia, where despite their relatively small population, female bio-entrepreneurs are taking from the old to create new products in cosmeceuticals and food-based products based on indigenous crops. Phase 2 of the FemBioBiz competition in Namibia saw 10 entrepreneurs and 5 students pitch their innovative ideas to our selection panel. Only 4 of the presentations will be selected for the final phase of the competition to be staged at the SA Innovation Summit. Here to test the strengths and weaknesses of their presentations is our judging panel consisting of 5 industry professionals. Wayorekisa Akwenye, Chief Executive Officer of the One Economy Foundation, whose objective and mission is to provide collateral-free funding for the second economy. Next on the panel is Nina Lowe, who is the Strategy and Business Development Manager for Rand Merchant Bank. Her Pan-African investment perspective is invaluable to the discussion. Meet Rachel Kalipi, who is a FemBioBiz Season 1 finalist and founder of Mano Investments. Please welcome Anna-Claire Mikat, who brings an international flavor to the panel, as she is the technical advisor at the German Development Agency. Representing the National Commission on Research, Science and Technology is Lovisa Kambonde, Manager of Innovation and Industrial Research. The competition was close, with some really innovative products being pitched by our Namibian Phase 2 finalists. To all our entrants who made it this far in the FemBioBiz Season 2 competition, we congratulate you on your journey of discovery. The first pitch is by Beauty Paulos, who is busy growing her newly launched company, Fluffy Mellows. Will the panel soften and enjoy the taste of things to come?
Fluffy Mellows is a Namibian marshmallow manufacturing company. Our marshmallows are handcrafted to ensure that they appeal to the eye as well as the taste buds of all marshmallow lovers of different ages. We have been in production since last year, December, and since December we've managed to acquire a facility to come from the kitchen into a production place, and we've also manufactured a total of 666 units of those, which is equivalent to 10,000 Namibian dollars of revenue, 4,000 of which is profits. For the next year, we'd like to penetrate all the retail shops in Windhoek, Commas to be specific. There are a total of 17. That will generate a revenue of 300,000 with a profit of 50,000. We require a total of 300,000 Namibian dollars currently so that we can renovate our production area into a commercial market, which will help us get into the retail shops. Together with equipment, we also need 100,000 for packaging that will help prolong our shelf life, and would also need 50,000 for marketing to go out and promote the product when we launch in the different shops.
What is the future of Fluffy Mellows? Is it to only always add more flavors? What's next for Fluffy
The
Mellows?
future of Fluffy Mellows, currently we'd just like to concentrate on this one product, but for next year we'd like to add another product. We're busy in the kitchen, we failed, but we're gonna go back and perfect it. But then it's also,
not a mellow product, is it?
it contains a marshmallow, however it has other things that are very exciting. Watch the space, guys.
So what do you think are your biggest challenges now in the future of expanding?
Okay, my biggest challenge currently is my facility, which is not per the standards of a commercial kitchen.
Have you expanded in terms of retailers, or are you still only in Clara's Deli?
I have expanded. I am now at the airport. There is a shop on the departure side, Sweet Treats. So I stocked there last month and I'm going to do my next stock again next week.
Here's hoping the panel succumbed to the sweetness of Beauty's pitch. Let's get some insight on small business support in Namibia.
The potential is on the grassroots level. It's with the informal entrepreneurs. They take the very little that they have and they maximize it in terms of returns. And they have the ability, they apply innovation to everything they do, which is what we need on a larger scale as well. However, they lack the support. And then the formal economy support that is provided is too formalized. It doesn't translate into their needs. So we've taken things like a loan, for example, and remodeled it so that it can suit the needs of the informal economy business owner.
Also eager to get her share of $250,000 worth of prizes is Mary Shikukutu. Her offering is Mahangu. It has substantial potential to generate employment, particularly in rural areas. Will our panel buy in?
Energy drink, commonly known Oshikundu in Namibia, it's made out of Mahangu pearl millet flour. The drink is good for children, adults, young and old, patients, and also malnutrition children. I came up with an idea to sell Oshikundu energy drink in a powder form for new market segmentation and also to help increase local food produce with added value. I'm currently selling Oshikundu in a liquid form, and we have generated more than 200,000 Namibia dollars in revenues. Our target market is renowned retailers such as ShopRite, Pick n Pay, and also the Ministry of Poverty Eradication. My ask to the investors who are here today is only 250,000 Namibian dollar in order to complete my research and also to introduce my energy drink into the market.
Mary, I hear that you said you are currently selling the energy drink in a liquid form. So what does that currently mean?
Okay, since 2010, when I started now selling the Oshikundu drink, up to now, I'm still selling it in a liquid form. And we are selling it per cups, like $3, $6, $10 Namibian dollars.
I see this is not a liquid form, and this is a liquid form. So how are you planning to sell this form? Or is it currently meaning that you are selling now and this is now the future?
That one is just now the outcome of the research. So, and this is now the future. Once we are done with the research, and then is when we will start selling in a package of 2.5 kgs.
Thank you for the pitch. Are you also looking to sell the liquid form kind of in cans or in other bottles throughout, say, ShopRite, the shops you mentioned?
Yes, we want to bottle it, but now we have started only with the research for the powder. Because if you sell it now in a bottling it, because the drink, it's a fermentation, it's a process. So we are now scared to maybe it will now, it won't work out, but we will think of it. First, we will see if the powder is working and then the bottling it.
Were the panel taken by the resilience and potential of this wonder crop? Let's hear some advice on investing in startups.
As an entrepreneurial startup, to be able to be investor worthy, you really need a market, a proven market as well. And from that, also a proven product. So it depends whether you're in the service industry or whether you've got a product. But you definitely need to know that there's a market that you'll be able to service or to provide this product to. And then from that, also be realistic about the value that you are going to add, be able to sell that, and be able to understand today what your business looks like, but what that should look like in 5 years, and have a realistic forecast of the growth of your business.
Meet Mpingana Dex, who saw an opportunity in the cosmetic sector with the potential of marula oil. Her company, Kuti Oil, now supplies customers nationally and globally. Will our panel understand her magic formula?
Our core business at the moment is we source marula kernels and Kalahari melon seed. We're seeking funding in order to press the oil ourselves. At the moment, I'm being mentored by somebody who's in the business. She is where I sourced the first $5,000 worth of oil that I've successfully exported. This is in order for me to build up my customer base. We're also having the oil sold locally through our Glow Marula oil range. Our products, our 2 lipid oils that we sell, are very, very sought after for their anti-aging properties. For cosmetic ingredients. In 2020, we're going to be engaging in propagating marula tree seedlings to the harvesters in the north, who are all rural women who are collecting these seeds for us. Our projected financials for year 1 will be $439,000 in revenue, a profit of $40,000. To achieve this, we need to purchase a $50,000 cold press oil machine, and we need $200,000 in startup capital to get our factory going.
Thank you. With that 50,000 machine,
Yes.
Are you able to produce the quantities that the export market demands? Yes. Or does it involve, would you need then the second machine to be able to?
Okay, we would like to keep the production numbers low for the time, because the reality of the situation is what we're creating is called conventional marula oil. There's something that's called organic marula oil, which only EcoCert can give you certification for, which means that you can sell higher numbers of it to more clients worldwide. What we can do right now is stick to the lower numbers and to a lower client base, because we can't charge higher prices, and therefore we can't make that much more than that. How we're mitigating that strategy-wise is that we're only able to press anyways 3 to 5 times a year because of the availability of the raw material. So what we'll do is that we're going to press accumulatively over 2 months. So that's like 7 kilograms per day up until we've accumulated our target, which will be 280 kilograms.
How are you going to make sure that you remain competitive in this market where anybody can just come in and do the same what you're currently doing?
The difference is that it's not actually that simple. In order to do it at a scale where you've got this level of equipment, where you've got actual monthly targets and actual clients, you have to spend the money on actually testing these oils before the client even sees it. So currently we've spent in the last year around 53,000 on this business alone, which that was just sending samples to South Africa for testing, fatty acids, microbiological tests, and so on. So yes, you can enter it, but the reality is the inputs are very, very expensive. So unless you've got the supply contracts as what I'm working on now, it's not really worth it.
You have already some contacts in the export markets.
Yes.
In the future, will you be selling directly to the kind of like cosmetic industry, or are there kind of like middlemen?
Actually, this is direct, because what these people do is that they're collecting large amounts of bulk from all over the world of exotic oils. So what they do is that they clear up the oil through further filtering, and then they sell it as cosmetic ingredients.
Did our panel buy into the indigenous values of her offering? Let's hear from one of our industry professionals on the importance of mentorship.
Personally, I think mentorship is very important because what I've seen and what I've experienced is that you get a lot of people with good ideas, innovators, but they need assistance and to be guided in terms of business principles and how to manage and run successful business. And then they can only get if they get mentored by experienced people or people that have actually gone through that process or have done the same.
Next to pitch is Mareka Masule, who founded Ilotu Investments, which specializes in the production of natural essential oil-based skin and hair products. Will the panel respond to her natural presentation?
Our key ingredient in our products are essential oils. This is due to the anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial properties that enable them to take care of skin conditions such as the typical oily acne to fungal infections like athlete's foot. We're currently based in Elisenheim and we wish to stretch out into a warehouse. We currently outsource our bases since we're not in the capacity to really do it from scratch and targeting middle to higher class. We target also health-conscious individuals and, as mentioned, those with various skin conditions. Our team consists of me being the PR and production manager due to my advertising background. We have a finance department, marketing, and strategy and projects. We currently take in approximately 15 to 20 orders on a monthly basis, making an income of an average of $5,000 coming in. We are looking for 1.6 million in order to allocate 300,000 to machinery, 100,000 for marketing, and 1.2 million for our warehousing, just to take us for a period of 5 years.
Basically, if I'm giving you 1.6 million today, how are the numbers increasing from the 14,000 a year? And how are you getting to those numbers? And what are you putting in place to get to those numbers? Because currently you're operating from home, and we understand that the 1.6 million would provide you with a bigger venue, etc. But how much of that 1.6 million will be productive in terms of bringing back income, and how much of it is just to set up infrastructure? And what are your numbers? What are your actual numbers in terms of quantities that you'll be producing or manufacturing, and the revenue that will come from those quantities and the profit that will come from that?
Okay. The 1.2 allocated to the warehouse that I actually did identify, giving us a monthly, without water and electricity, of 19,000 a month, will improve our sales counts through our channels. At the moment, it's just door-to-door deliveries, ordering through Facebook and website, but we also do look into going to retail, also through spas and other gyms, just to branch out and increase our revenue streams. Also further development with the wellness center, where we can cater to people with stress-related depression, so that will really help boost on that in order to maintain it and increase it. Yes, to support that.
Just a compliment and something you can add to your competitive advantage is that you offer that we can get refills. So I think it's great that I can bring back my container to you and you can refill it, because then it comes out cheaper and it's also environment friendly, I guess. Yeah, that's what I read. So I want to compliment you on that, and I want you to add it as your competitive advantage.
Were the panel impressed by Mareka's essential beauty products? Let's get some ideas on being business savvy.
It's wonderful if you've got strong kind of technical know-how and knowledge, but if you don't actually have the business savvy and the understanding of how does that relate to making money, a financial model that's actually viable in the market, then it's no use. It's easy. You see a lot of startups that they've got this big dream, but realizing that is actually not that easy. And you need to put in the hours. You need to actually commit to doing it. And I think sometimes people think, these solutions and these businesses must grow by themselves, and they don't, or they don't think that it will take the amount of time it will, and the amount of selling, and selling not always to your customer, but to the investor, actually definitely to the investor. And if you don't get that buy-in from an investor or a community that will actually support you to grow your business from the get-go, it's sometimes hard to push through, but it's in that moment where you need to say, here is where I need to push through, and to commit to your business.
The final participant is Rentia Kaimbi, whose company Aqua Greens Namibia hopes to promote nutritious, healthy and affordable foods through aquaponic farming. Will our panel be sold on her pitch?
The domestic market only contributes 47% of fresh produce, making the remaining 53% an opportunity to basically grow these basic necessities and also help ensure national food security through initiatives like the food bank. Aquaponics is a combination of hydroponics and aquaculture, an environmentally friendly process that basically produces chemical-free organic vegetables. As an urban farm, we are basically bringing our product closer to the end user, by so doing eliminating all extra costs included on imported goods. Therefore, we have projected our market share, should we go into production in August, at 0.7%, but it's expected to grow to 8.8% in 2019 and 21% in 2020. And we are therefore seeking $1 million in funding to complete the setup of our aquaponic farm by purchasing all outstanding equipment and components, and by covering additional costs, because we've already invested about 100,000 in the project by purchasing grow beds and a second-hand Isuzu pickup here in the middle, and but we are expected to make a loss at the end of the year, because we'll only harvest once based on the crops we're going to start with, which are the basic salad crops of about 900,000, but we are expected to make profit of about 500,000 next year.
Morning. I'm very excited for your project. I think it's a brilliant project, and in terms of the farming side of it, I don't see many challenges, but where it might become tricky and where I'd like to just hear more of your strategy around that, because we often project wonderful numbers in sales, but once we start to actually become operational at the optimal operation, we find our obstacles. And the business that you're actually going into is retail. Mm-hmm. It's not so much the farming. And you are in the Rongo region, which I think has an advantage because you're bringing fresh produce that often lacks in that region. However, scalability in numbers is important in retail. So how are you, in terms of infrastructure and strategy and capital, going to reach the rest of the country and other regions outside of Namibia? And also, who are your competitors on a larger scale, not just focusing on the Rongo region?
Okay. I've actually done research on whether I should produce and then set up a retail shop, or whether I should just produce, add value, and then sell it to a retailer. And it has been more viable to add value and sell to the retailer, because when you set up your own retail shop, then other retailers don't want to buy from your retail shop, because the two guys who have tried to do that have gone out of business in 9 months, because then you are an active competitor. Whereas with my strategy, I've turned my competitor into my customer, basically.
All the pitches have been presented, and after intense discussion and debate, the judges have made their decision in selecting the final 4 to represent Namibia at the SA Innovation Summit. Watch our next episode as the search for innovative African solutions continues.